is you talk about how people are basically using the church to get their political needs met, and they're going to politics to get their spiritual needs met. That caught my attention right off the bat. So I'd like you to explain what you mean by that.
Politics has become a kind of reservoir for so many of our hatreds, loves, aspirations, resentments. And politics has become a place where we seek for self-expression in a way that crowds out the ability for politics to be about self-governance and the limited but essential jurisdiction of politics. Now Christians, I talk in the book about something I term political therapeutic deism. And this, of course, is a riff off of Christian Smith and Melinda Lundquist's term moral therapeutic deism. Political therapeutic deism is essentially a set of beliefs in which religious language, imagery doesn't have to be Christian, but religious language, imagery, terms are used as leverage to provide a sort of divine affirmation for one's own politics. Religion is sort of leveraged as a supplement for one's own sort of political beliefs, and we just have that, and we have quite a bit of that, and it's a destructive thing to our politics, but it's destructive to the church as well. Now the other side, I use a phrase in the book called politics sensitive churches. Of course, in the 80s and 90s, we had seeker sensitive churches. And what seeker sensitive meant, you could build church. You could build what the local church does, how it presents itself, what it focuses on in a way that is sort of tilted towards and centers those who would not identify as committed Christians, but are seeking people that we could bring in. And to be clear, I think the seeker sensitive movement provided some great things. It wasn't what we're seeing, though, and this again is not every church, but we are seeing politics sensitive churches. And these are churches that are constructing what they do, how they present themselves to either appeal to a particular political set or make clear that they don't want a certain kind of politics in the church. And what I would argue, again, without casting disparagements on anybody, is it's a really dangerous place to be when you're centering the activity of the local church on anything other than the person of Jesus Christ. And I think Tim Alberta, and we have some disagreements, but I think Tim Alberta's reporting over the last 4 or 5 years on how this is played out in local churches, I think is important for us to consider.